Your first decision in VINEGO consists in ordering the quantity of cork to crush that you want to this month from your producers. But in order to know how much to order, you should firstly know how much you have in stock, because you start your month with already some stock here, visible under this blue flash. In order to calculate exactly our stock, we will do it together, and first we have to have a glance at our stock of raw materials, cork to crush and grains, and then to our settings, because remember, you have a process of production. From cork to crush, you must obtain 35% of grains, and then from grains you will obtain 20% of mixed toppers, which is your final product. The good news is that you already have some mixed toppers here, 3,000 lots. These you do not have to produce because they are already produced. But cork to crush and grains, we have to transform them, and let's check it out how we will do it. So my quantity of cork to crush, I will transform it into grains. Like, I will multiply my whole quantity with 0.35, and I will obtain 38,500 kilos of grains. The grains, I have to transform them into mixed toppers, and so I will multiply this quantity with 0.20 because I have to obtain 20% of mixed toppers, and then I have my final quantity, which is of 7,700 mixed toppers, my final product. If we come back to my stock to have a look, so I have produced my cork to crush, but I didn't produce my grains. So let's produce them. My grains, coming back to the process of production, I will find out here that I have the same process almost, because it's just easier because I only transform grains into mixed toppers. So I will obtain 1,500 lots of mixed toppers. But since I already transformed my cork to crush, I added here the previous quantity, and I also add my quantity of mixed toppers, 3,000. And finally, I obtained 12,200 lots of mixed toppers. These are my final products, and this is what I will sell to my distributors. Why are we doing this now? Because this production process is important for you to know how much stock you have, especially in the month of January, because it's your first decision and you need to know how much you will order from your producers. Be aware that in order to produce, to pass an order to your producers, you have to not only make your stock and calculate your stock, but you must also have a look into the guide on the needs per distributor of the final clients, which are winemakers, sellers, and key accounts. So before ordering, do the stock, then have a look at the needs of these three final clients, and finally decide if the quantity that you need to order to your producer will be enough to help you sell for January as well for February. Do not worry, all this production phase will exist further on in the simulation. Now you are in the planning phase, but you will produce them directly, so you don't need to calculate them as we just did in the negotiation phase. But we will discover together the negotiation phase in the next video.